Hi, welcome to another video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. I did this video already, but it wasn't recording. I thought it was recording, but it wasn't. So I'm redoing it. So that's going to be a little different. So what you see here is my MRI of my brain, and you see the significant damage that being experimented on has caused me. Right? Not all so neurologically as you see here, but also psychologically, physically. You hear the the fire trucks. That's the fire truck you hear on the side here. That's you know okay. Simply because again the lies that's being told. Okay, and ultimately we know who the liars are. And as a TI, they may try to make you sound like if you're the liar, try to send you subliminal messages if you're lying and all of this and stuff, all of that, right? But we know who the liars are. They have a history of lying. Okay, there's no doubt about it. They have a history of lying and deception. They have a history of non-consensual human experimentation on individuals, claiming that they're not experimenting on anybody. Right? There is a history, a long history of that. So when they want to look at you and try to say, well, we're going to use your history, right? Which, again, your history as a human being, if you're a TI, is not a bad one. Okay? It's not a bad one. You may have had difficulties in the past, what have you, but ultimately, your history is not a bad one until these people try to, well, not try to, until they selected you, until they manipulated you and those around you, until they deceive you, they drug you, they've used the technology on you, silent sound spectrum, you know, then try to build a negative history upon that, right? But when you look at their history, whether it be the police department, the CIA, the FBI, they are liars. Ultimately, they are the biggest liars, the biggest corruptors of the law, the biggest abusers of the law, the biggest criminals of the law. Okay? So I'm posting this because, again, they always try to send me subliminal message saying that, oh, what we've done to him, it didn't damage him in any way, it didn't affect him in any way, and he's fine, and all this stuff. And particularly when they constantly trying to take away my disability, you know and ultimately as TIs, what they have done, they have disabled us. They have disabled us from society. They have disabled us from our emotions. They have disabled us from physically, mentally, neurologically, right, emotionally. And though I'm fighting to get I've been trying to regain my emotional ability, emotional strength. Okay? But when they try to say that, what we're doing to these individuals is not harmful in any way, it is a lie. This is why they spend years trying to deny me access to get an MRI done. Okay? For many years they have denied me access. When I went to, early on, try to get an MRI, it's always some excuse. Oh, your insurance company is not paying, it hasn't paid for this. Oh, this and that. Oh, your insurance or the machines are down, come back another time and blah blah blah. Right? You know what I'm saying? Years they've tried to deny me from getting an MRI X-ray of my back, until I finally got it done in like 2008, I think 2008 or 9. And then they've been trying to deny me my MRI for my brain. Okay. So again, they have continued to experiment on people. They haven't stopped. Okay. What they have done is that they've created and developed new ways in which that they feel that they can experiment on people and manipulate them, then try to blackmail them into silence. Okay? Then try to say, well, what we've done to these individuals doesn't affect them. Oh, look, he's talking to a woman or something like that, so he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. That's what they say, right? Okay, you know what I'm saying? As if talking to someone will negate the fact that they have neurologically damaged you, they have psychologically damaged you, they have emotionally damaged you. You know what I'm saying? They have physically damaged you, right? So how did I sustain these injuries? And when you look at the injury report by the American diplomats who was hit with these same types of weapons in Cuba and China, you can take my MRI and look at theirs and see the similarities. Okay? And they know this. But this is what these people do. These are white supremacists. Okay? And they lie. Oh, again, I tell black people all the time, right? The people who have labeled us mentally ill when, when our ancestors were fighting for us, they labeled them with a mental illness. Right? Dr. Peter Baggins said it best. He said some of the most esteemed individuals in the field of psychology, psychiatry, science, okay, are some of the most evil people on this planet. Right? And not also that, but I've suffered from headaches. I have another report here about my headaches that I've suffered from. My inability to balance myself because of the spinal damage that they've done to me. Okay, the pain that I'm constantly in. And that's why I started taking a lot of these natural supplements, because they were giving me all these medication and it was causing me more damage. Okay, I was taking naproxen and it caused me to develop an ulcer. You hear the sirens again? They don't stop. Like I said, if you are a person who's looking at this video and you live in the 11226 area as well as the 11213 area, right? When I'm here, there is the constant sirens. Okay, it may calm down for a couple hours if I expose them, but then they're right back on it. Okay, just listen. Like I said, emergencies don't happen, pattern wise. Emergencies are randoms. Okay, random acts of things happening. Okay, these noise campaign, there is a pattern to them. Okay, so anyway, back to the subject. Like I said, so don't let them fool you. Don't let them deceive you, as Bob Marley says. Right? Don't let them fool you. Don't let them try to screw you. Right? Because like I said, ultimately, we know who the liars are. There's a mountain pile of evidence, right, that will tell you who these people are. Okay? Wake up from the brainwashing. Wake up from the zombiness. And it's hard because the technology is being used on everyone, right? In a broad sense, to make them ignore these things, to make them forget these things. I talked about that woman, Miriam. What's her name? Miriam? No, not Miriam Carey. Sorry, another woman in the UK who was dead for a few years. Her family didn't ever thought about her. They didn't even check on her. The landlord, even though she owed years of rent, right? The light and gas company didn't shut off her lights and gas, even though she's been dead for years. Okay, these are the technology at work, and these when you read about stuff like that happening, because they're testing it out, right? They're testing it out to see their ability of using these weapons to make people forget, to even forget their own loved ones, right? So when they want to act as if, because I'm not using my cane today, that look, there's nothing wrong, he's lying and blah 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 and such. Because that's what they try to do. They literally try to make you out to be a liar because they don't want to be held accountable, and they don't want to see you receive any sort of financial restitution for what they've done to you, and then try to threaten you with arrest because you're talking about it, because you're exposing it. Well, you know what? I'm going to continue to do this video, and guess what? You're going to have to arrest me. You're going to have to kill me. Okay? In order for me to stop. Right? You can keep threatening my kids. You can keep using their teachers to try to make them fail their classes. I'm not going to stop. And you see, as a black person, this is the type of mentality that they don't like, right? This is this revolutionary type of mentality. I wouldn't even say rebellious, but revolutionary, right? Knowledge base, understanding who we are, who I am, and who they are, and not being fooled by the glitz and the glamour that they got the majority of us looking up to. I posted something on Facebook with Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz, and I said, and one with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and it says, "This is the person you aspire to be like." And on top, Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz, "This is who I aspire to be like." Okay, and right now we have more people trying to aspire to be like Beyonce and Jay-Z than Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz. And this is why we are in deep trouble. This is why they continue to fool us, trick us, deceive us, lie to us, turn us against each other. This is why there's a huge separation between black men and black women. Same, the video that I thought was recording that, when I was getting ultrasound of my neck, because they found that I have a vein I have an artery that's narrow, and then it can lead to a stroke. So they prescribed me new medication for that. There was a black woman in the office, young black woman, and actually she came into the sonogram room. And my thing is like, there's a patient here. Why are you coming in here talking about your relationship business? So she comes in and she says, my boyfriend want to move closer to me, but I really don't want him to because I really can't stand him for too long and such and such. This is her boyfriend she's talking about. And she's talking about this to two white female technicians who have rings on their finger. And these two white female technicians talking about, I hear you. You do need that time. You do need time for yourself and this and that. Meanwhile, they're going home to their man. They're going home to their husbands. And black women complain about black men. About, they need their space and such and such. Right? This is how we're being conditioned. Black women are conditioned to blame black men for everything, including their own bad decisions. Blame it on black men. Okay? If we don't get our act together as black people, because I've told you the technologies exist. I've showed you, CIA documents, though they may not be what America has developed or are still developing. The Russians have done it, and the United States have plenty of, evidence of that. And if you know the Russians are doing it, you know the United States government is doing it. And actually, right? Actually, they have developed these weapons, and they're using these weapons today, and they're giving these weapons to police departments who have been militarized, including the NYPD, which has a division just like the CIA, sending spies all over the globe. Okay, you have to understand what we're dealing with. When I talk about white supremacy and people talk about, they think it's just bigotry and, no. White supremacy is when these people wake up every single day to develop new ways to try to eliminate us. If they can't do it physically, they'll do it psychologically, mentally. Okay? To try to prevent us from reproducing. Ask yourself as a black person, how come Hispanic population has overtaken the black population in the United States? How come? For the past 20 years now, black people have been, 45 million people in America? For the past 20 years. And for the past 20 years, Hispanics have quadrupled their number to overtake us. Right? You guys don't think about that, do you? So, like I said, understand who the liars are, who the deceivers are, who does the deception, who has a long history of lying, deceiving, murder, oppression. Who? It isn't you or I as TIs. Okay? So I want TIs just to remember that. So when they try to make it seem like you're lying or you're this and you're that, like I said, I'm rubber, they're glue. When they whatever they throw at me, bounce off of me and sticks to them. Okay? They can try to project who they are onto me, but it's not going to work. Because ultimately, I am not them. I am me. And no matter how much they may try to turn me, corrupt me, manipulate me, I will always be me. Alright? So, with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video.